Right on 10 a.m., here's Todd Morris with the call.
Ball thrown high in the air here at DSV Stadium. Hardingham winning the tap, has been dominating the ruck early in this season. Thornycroft trying to get across there. The ball will come out. The Dogs looking to go wide with it here as they do. They look to get an entry just on the edge of 50 here. Taking that mark there was Tab, and Tab will look inside 50. Gets the kick. That will be fisted away. Great fist coming over there from Mead. And that ball's just made its way over the line. It'll be a boundary throw and inside 50 here for the Dogs.
Aaron Mead, of course, one-time captain of this proud Williamstown footy club. Throw it in. In front is McLeay, the former GWS Giant. And the ball is cleared for Williamstown. Laying a strong tackle is Edwards, and the boundary line wins the day in the end. So you mentioned earlier, Todd, the Dogs coming off a very close win against the Bombers. That was by 2 points. And Williamstown last week losing to the Box Hill Juggernaut, but by only 10 points. A lot of those Hawthorn AFLW listers have started to filter out of the Box Hill lineup as the Dogs look to go inside 50. Fancy footwork from Carruthers, almost came unstuck. The only AFLW listed player out there today is Dom Carruthers, as we get a stoppage just outside the paint.
Yeah, it's an interesting competition in the way that the AFLW talent will come in and out of this competition. It really makes a difference. Eves looking to clear that one, just burst through the pack nicely, and what a great hit up. And now they'll look to go forward. Here's Brett. Brett got it on the boot, put it out into space here. Simpson's got a tough task to do. Will paddle the ball in front of her, but then was just pushed off it in the end. The Dogs real out here from defence. They get the kick going wide, and a nice mark taken across half back. Carbone, the captain, got on the boot too. That was clean disposal. They look to really build up play here on the outer side. Just on the edge of 50 here, that ball comes in. Drops nicely there for Tab. Tab just got it going forward. Foot race here. One-on-one contest. Scooping up to try and pick that on was Solitis, who was instrumental in their last win, kicking an early goal. Ball came out, rebound, shot a goal. Has it got the legs? No, it will be a behind. The Dogs will take first score, and they'll open their account with a behind.
So Carruthers has been busy early. Stepnell brings it back into play, hugging the boundary line, and it's out on the fall. Critical error. It's going to create a shot at goal for the Dogs. It looks like Milford, the former Carlton AFLW listed player. She goes around on the right boot and just doesn't get enough hook on it. But the Dogs have made an enterprising start. They've had the majority of the ball inside their forward 50. Haven't been able to put a major on the board just yet, but they're looking pretty good as Stepnell brings it back into play. Ashiak unable to hang on. Here's Williamson, one of their better ball winners. 13 disposals for her last week. And out in front is Randall. Back into the lineup today. Edwards kept running, but the handball wasn't clean. Good pressure from the Dogs. Crook is taken down to the ground.
Great tackle pressure there by Randall. Just to lock that one in, get a stoppage. Territory is so important in these VFLW games. And that one will get locked up again. And we'll get a repeat ball up here. Hardingham in the ruck against Bain. That one came down for Eves, who got the ball going forward. Will it be a kind bounce? It'll continue to roll, but it's offline. It's going to be paddled over the line, and it'll be a behind. So Williamstown now registering their behind for the game.
I've already seen Emily Eves just stepping through traffic so well early on in this game. She was the BNF for Williamstown last year, and only a couple of votes behind the eventual winners of the Lambert Pierce medal. She sees the ball out of bounds, and she is a massive influence for this Williamstown team and one of the very best players in the competition. She can do it on the inside and she can do it on the outside. And she's already up to 3 disposals, the most on the ground. Carbone, Carruthers and Milford each have 2 for the Dogs. Hardingham with front position over Bain. That'll be the primary ruck matchup today. This is Skinner, coming off 18 touches and a goal last week, but she's turned it over on this occasion. Goals go forward, but only as far as Hardingham.
Hardingham taking a really strong mark there across half-back and will send the ball exactly where it came from, but it'll be turned over. Thornycroft tried to get rid of it, but then dropped it. The Dogs end up with the footy through Mailer, getting it on the boot there, sending it to half-forward, but sitting in the hole there was Mead. So Mead here looking to generate play. This kick's super important. Mead sent it down the wing there. Scooping in was Crook. But Crook was held up and will get a ball up.
Draw in the ruck. Edwards able to get their hands free. Plunkett tackled immediately. It's been a feature of the game so far. 6 minutes in, no goals as of yet. Hardingham has been good early for the Dogs. Tackle pressure from Carruthers sees the ball over the line. Hardingham, 8 tackles and 17 hitouts last week to go along with 12 touches. Chloe Bain will have her hands full. New to the goals this year from the Carlton VFLW program. Edwards dispossessed and Williamson has kicked it out on the full. It's going to be Leonard, the former Cat. Up the line, Bain well placed, and she's able to hang on. So the game being played very much between the arcs at the moment. Driving it towards Whiting at centre half forward. Dogs defending numbers. Mailer able to get it out of the area, and she finds Henry. Played for WA in the National Championships last year, did Jamie Henry. She's moved over to Victoria for season 2024. And here she is with another touch, but dragged to ground. Somehow got it free, and that's an excellent kick into the corridor, which releases Mailer.
Mailer now in the middle of the ground here. Goes short with a kick. That was nice. Really well placed. Great hit up in the end. Dogs looking just to calm it down here. Tab gets it on the boot. Puts it deep inside 50. They'll crash across here. It was Day. Picking that one up was Mead, who's had plenty of it early as Mead and been super impressive in defence. Finds Tweedle O'Donnell. Tweedle O'Donnell got it going to advantage of her team to find Tyrrell. Tyrrell wasted no time, flicked that one over the top, but unfortunately it will spill out and it will go over the line. And it'll be a free kick here for the Western Bulldogs according to the last touch rule.
Tamsin Crook to take the free. Takes ground by foot, then drives it long. Off the hands of Freeman. Out of danger here, the goals through Williamson. But gathered by Mailer. Sends the Dogs into attack, coming aggressively out to Mead at his day. Little fumble, but it works out. Mead just clears the danger, but caught 1-on-3 here is Strayford. She's going to have to go to work, and she's doing really well so far. Able to pick up the ball, doesn't have a lot of support. And eventually, weight of numbers wins out, but in goes Brett again. Just couldn't quite take the footy with her. And Ugle is going to turn this over. A great effort from Eliza Strayford has given the goals this opportunity. Stepnell couldn't hang on. Strayford again, bouncing ball inside 50. Simpson dragged off it. Gives it off to Eves, and she splits the middle for the first goal of the day.
Very classy finish there by Eves, receiving that hand pass, steadying up, and then going goal bound. Super, super impressive stuff.
4 touches and a goal already for Emily Eves. Most touches on the ground. She's averaging 11 and 7 tackles in the early going this season. Not just the best and fairest of this Williamstown Footy Club, but also featured in the Team of the Year last year.
And deservedly so, with finishes like that and the way that she's playing already early in this one. It's going to be a headache for the Dogs all morning. They'll have to find a solution. Eves now thrown into the middle. Hardingham won the tap, but it went to the advantage of Williamstown through Williamson. Williamson worked the ball forward there. Set a task for Randall, who's still on it now. Randall just slung off the footy without it. And that umpire says play on. I thought there was a whistle there. Eves comes crashing in, lays another tackle for today. And again, we'll get a stoppage just outside 50 here from Williamstown. Positive stuff out of the clearance on that one.
Certainly see the intent of both sides early on. As the goals go inside 50. Great tackle from Smart, not rewarded. Centering ball. More Dogs here than goals. Ugle needs to be good. She was good enough. Crook involved. Asiak just puts it on the boot, but it's coming straight back. Williamson wastes no time. Sends it goalward. But it's just wide of the mark. And the Gulls have been able to lock it inside their forward 50. They lead it by a kick.
Definitely respect the attempt there. We've got a whistle, I think, just for an injured player down. It looks to be maybe Mead, possibly. No, Simpson, sorry. So Simpson just getting some attention from the trainers. Well, we'll get a pause in play. So 12 minutes played here in the first quarter. Clock runs continuously. However, in situations like this, it is paused and stopped.
Yeah, that's right. The trainers just looking at Simpson's leg, it appears. She hasn't moved too much. I hope she's all good, but we do have a stoppage in play. As I mentioned earlier, Todd, the Gulls, 1 win, 2 losses, 1 draw. That draw came back in round 2 against Essendon. 5-5-35 to 4-11-35 as Simpson gets to her feet and makes her way off the ground, which is great to see.
Certainly is great to see. It looked a leg complaint, but the fact now she's just got into a slow jog is positive signs. So the Dogs will bring it in here as there was the last play was a behind scored, which just edged Williamstown in front by 5 points early in this one. So they'll look to bring this one in. Now play is officially ticked back on. Ugle got it going short there and taking the mark nicely was Hurst. Hurst tucked against the pocket here. Has to play on. Got around her opponent pretty easily. Then sent that long, but it was intercepted by Stepnell. Stepnell takes off, puts it into the corridor. Almost fisted away. Dogs looking to be out here. If they get this kick right, it's going to be a tough one. It did fall in the lap of Day, who paddled it forward. Now they're away. Quick hand pass over the top to McClay. McClay picks it up, looking for a relieving hand pass. Got it now to Neckrap. Moved it out wide. Great tackle over the top. Had to be careful to give it high, and it was awarded high. So be a free kick here just on the edge of 50. Karathas will send it into the corridor. That was a lovely pass to find Solitis, who's brilliant in front of goal, is Solitis. Can finish. Let's see if she has the distance here. An uncharacteristic Williamstown conditions today with not a breath of wind about. Hopefully it stays that way all day. So we have the great doubleheader. The Dogs playing Williamstown later in this VFL clash. That kick was just short and to the right. Oh, great pack mark attempt. Will it be paid? Yes, it will. McClay taking a fantastic grab.
Yeah, great hands there. You just see the experience of someone who's played a handful of AFLW games, known primarily as a key defender, but playing as a forward for the Western Bulldogs.
So McClay will steady and send that one home, and the Dogs get there first, and will even up this game at 8 apiece.
Isadora McClay, as I mentioned, played 3 AFLW games last season for the Giants. Still only 20 years old, and a good size, so a key position prospect to potentially keep an eye on as she looks for a second AFLW opportunity. Even start to this one, as you can tell from the scoreboard. Approaching the latter stages of this opening term on AFL.com.au and the AFL Live official app. Glad to have your company for this early Saturday clash. As Todd mentioned, the first of a big doubleheader. It's going to be Williamstown taking on the Scray into the second game this afternoon. But the Dogs have been able to work it inside 50 for the moment. Cowan left it behind, and that allowed the Towners to clear. One-on-one contest here. Ramsey, the former Cat, gets first hands to the ball, but she's driven into the turf by Barker.
Really liked Barker's tackle pressure there. It was a tough contest and wrapped up in the tackle and did really well.
From the restart, Eves couldn't quite get a handle on the footy. And the free's been given away. It's going to be Hardingham's ball. Just waits for someone to present. Eventually goes long. No one at the fall of the ball. Salidas snaps towards goal, and it's offline. Didn't quite get the bounce she wanted.
Really enjoying this freedom of entry at the moment here from the Dogs. They're doing a great job of getting forward entries. Against Casey, they had a little bit of tough time in that. They were more counter-attacking, but at the moment they are dominating at the stoppage. Webster to bring it in. Just asking to go deep and then fakes one way and goes out the other, plays on. It won't go all the way. That one just bounced in front. Great tackle again applied there by Strafford. Williamstown tackle pressure has been fantastic as they managed to lock in a turnover and get a ball up. Clearance important here for the Gulls. Let's see what they can do. Bain wins the tap. Will come back down for Bain, who ends up getting the clearance. Just got it onto the boot. It was a hurried kick. Just keeping that one in nicely was Ugle, but then span in to a would-be tackler. And that was Ping holding the ball. So again, that tackle pressure from Williamstown doing a great job. Strafford now got it on the boot. Went into the corridor. Good contest out here. Picking the footy up was Brett. But then another tackle came in and another stoppage out here on the wing.
She's been really good early, Eliza Strayford. 3 tackles already to go with 4 disposals. And Williamson, the leading ball winner on the ground with 8. Last touch, though, it's going to be a Dogs ball. Strayford's physical efforts have been terrific so far today and have helped create stoppages and half contests where the Dogs would otherwise have won them. So we get another stoppage here. About 60 seconds to go in this opening term. Although we probably do have some time on as well with the stoppage due to injury. Into the middle of the ground. Williamstown scramble it forward. Whiting has been quiet so far today. Unable to get involved on this occasion. She is receiving close attention from the Dogs' defence, as you'd expect. Randall just bangs it on the boot to the one-on-one. Getting back and taking a courageous mark with the flight of the ball is Snow. She's put it out wide for Neckrip.
Neckrip now got it on the boot. That was a great kick, almost intercepted here. It's going to fall here for Julian, who was then pushed off the footy. Still loose ball. They managed to try and keep it in, but unfortunately the boundary line was a little too skinny on that occasion, and it'll go out. And there's the quarter-time siren. So
it's been a good, solid start to this one. Close game thus far, and Todd's going to get us underway in the second.
Yeah, interesting contest here. Weather conditions relatively even, so there won't be much of a difference as they change ends. Getting the clearance here was Carruthers, just getting a nice bit of purchase on that, getting some good ground here. Mailer tried to pick it up, then had to apply the tackle. We're going to get a stoppage here on the outer side of DSV Stadium. Brisk, 14 degrees, not a breath of wind. One thrown up. Just bursting through. There was Eves, but it's going to be a free kick here, and it's going to go in favour of the Dogs. Hardingham with it. Elects to play on, goes short with a hand pass. Tried to get the 1-2 back and did, but then was caught in the tackle. Ball spills free. Just a toe poke off the ground. Awarded kicking in danger there. It's not one you see every day. And he'll come back, and it'll be the Gulls across half back.
So that's Thornycroft. He's got the free. Joined the club from Carlton's VFLW program in the off-season. Ball clears the pack. And now a chance for Barker. They'll play on advantage here, Williamstown, to the one-on-one. Well done, Ugle, with the fist. Working hard on the ground is Brett to try and lock it in. And she's achieved that and even more because Ugle dragged it in. She is a goal kicker, Brett, but might just be outside her range here. 1-2 for the season thus far. Whiting will be the target of the long ball in the square, if that's where she ends up going. Tries to gain some meterage. It is going to drop short, but did anyone touch it? I don't think so. And Brett's got the goal.
I really like that one from Brett. Backed herself in, then got the friendly bounce. Fortune favours the brave. And a brilliant goal in the end. Nobody able to get a hand to that. The Dogs coaching staff will not be happy with that at all.
Not at all. There were plenty of numbers back there on the goal line. Just, I guess the chaos ball, it did wobble a bit in flight, and sort of like the old knuckleball in baseball. You don't know where it's going to go, and no one able to get a handle on it.
So back to the middle here. Goals are going to be worth a premium in this game. However, I can see it opening up. Both teams playing a great outside running contest. Hardingham won the tap. Got it going in the favour of her teammate there. They'll look to go forward. Comes out to Skinner. Skinner accurate with the pass to Mailer. Mailer went short with the hand pass. Now Carruthers comes back into the corridor. That one's going to be turned over. Bursting through there was Freeman. And Freeman was pinged holding the ball. So Skinner now will have it just on the edge of 50 here. This kick's super important. Skinner told to play on. Got plenty of purchase on it. Put it in the danger zone. Bounces over the back here. Can Cowan get there? She won't. And it'll be a behind. So the Dogs now move to 10. They find themselves down by 4.
Well done, Bain, the big ruck, getting back to force that through for a rush behind. Biedenweg Webster, delisted by the Gold Coast Suns at the end of last AFLW season. Back with Williamstown, where she spent plenty of time before being added to the Suns list. A little bit untidy getting out of defence, though. Carbone's over the top of it, and she won't be going anywhere. Of course, they're really happy to have her back here at Williamstown. Biedenweg Webster provides a lot of dash off that half-back line as Carbone's caught. Strong tackle from Eves. Couple of absolute studs in the midfield doing battle on that occasion, and it was the Seagull who won out. Aggressive kick into the corridor. Williamson involved, so too Edwards. And the Gulls go through the corridor once again, but it's taken by Asiak. Towards half forward, strong hands, Milford. Just pops it up, top of the square. Cowan the target, off her hands. McLeay has got the Dogs' only goal so far. Forced to dish off the handball. Flying shot comes, but it's well across the face.
Great pressure here by both teams. Bringing in here from Williamstown is Thornycroft, who was brilliant in her last outing. Managed to poll 8 coaches' votes out of a possible 10. Thornycroft elects to play on in this one. Goes long with the kick. Even contest out here. Going back with the flight and taking a very impressive mark will be Nikrep, who's played well today coming into the team. Nikrep sent that deep. Set to the front of the pack here. Kick into the middle. McLeay looking to get the right bounce. Comes over now. Ramsey finishes with a beautiful finish. Great work here. And now the Western Bulldogs will take the lead.
Yeah, that's her first goal as a Dog as well. Emily Ramsey spent last year and a couple of years before that with the Cats in the VFLW competition. Plays with the Geelong Abattoirs when she's not in this lineup. But the ball just spilled free to her and she got it onto the left, and it was, as Todd said, a very nice finish. Mostly patrolling that broadcast wing, Emily Ramsey so far today. And the Dogs retake the lead. From the restart, Plunkett. Little kick in the direction of Barker, who's set upon immediately. Plunkett didn't see the tackle coming. And that's Pulcino with the pressure. Back into this Western Bulldogs side today. Missed last week. She's a goal sneak when she gets going, Talia Pulcino. Strong hands, Cowan. It's going to be a kick and a half from goal. Short lead's offered. Spots something in the pocket she likes, but the ball over the line in front of Tab. 2-5 plays 2-2. Dogs lead it. Williamson, 8 disposals, the most on the ground. Carruthers and Mailer each have 6 for the Western Bulldogs. And there is Thornycroft laying a tackle. Laid 10 of them last week to go with 23 touches in that loss to Box Hill. Good pressure from the Dogs. Plenty of numbers on top of the footy. They locked it inside their 50. They lead it by 3.
Lead it by 3 indeed here. This will be a moment where they can try and pile on another one. Ruck infringement there. It'll be a free kick here to Stepnell. Stepnell wasted no time. Got it going in favour of her teammate there. Tweedle O'Donnell couldn't quite get it. Ball goes to the front of the pack. The Dogs will win out overall here. Some fancy footwork there as that one gets spun around. Now they'll go into the corridor. Looking for McLeay, but it went over her head. Now they'll look to get the clearance here, and they do, but it's going to come straight back where it came from. Picking it up there was Ramsey. Ramsey just steadied with some composure. Put it into the corridor with the left boot. They'll battle for it here. Footy comes out straight away, and it just fell in the lap there of Carbone. But Carbone was tackled and was pinned holding the ball. It'll be Williamstown footy.
No one sure whose free it is, but I've worked it out. It's Zoe Days on the BNF in 2022 at Williamstown CYMS, and then made the step up last year and acquitted herself very nicely. But she's turned it over, and now the Dogs a chance through Cowan. Pops it short. Ball to the top of the square. Plenty of goals back to help out in defence. And now Plunkett's got a little bit of time and space. Needs someone to present on this broadcast side. Good to see Simpson back out there after an injury concern. But the Dogs have set up really well here behind the ball. And the tackle put on by Crook. That was Megan Smart on the bottom of the pack. So Stepnell and McLeay. McLeay first hands to it. Thornycroft missed her boot. And the Dogs come away through Henry. Bouncing ball. Using her body well was Tab. And is able to pick it up as well. McLeay drives it to the top of the square. Mark not taken by Milford. And the Towners get back in numbers to force a stoppage.
So again, an important one here for this Western Bulldogs side. No one gets thrown up. Again, just bobbling around at the moment. Very tough at the coalface. A free kick awarded here. Stepnell will take it. Stepnell looking to go wide. They'll look to switch play here to the Gulls. Can they get numbers going in their favour? Just push off the footy there and tried to get the hand pass away and pinged, holding the ball. Great tackle pressure again from Williamstown. They've just managed to really pile that on. Here's Randall. Randall put it into the middle of the oval. Oh, that was a great contested mark there by Mailer, who's putting together a great game so far in this one. Mailer put it to the edge of 50. Coming out of defence there. Mailer trying to pick that one up. It ends up coming out here for Stepnell, who was tackled as she got rid of it. Ugle sent the ball out wide. Coming across there, Whiting, who's now been sent into defence, and Whiting just paddled that off the ground. Dogs end up with it. They'll go forward with it here. Carbone puts it into the corridor. At the back, snap around the body, Cowan, but it missed. Great work there by Cowan to manage to get the kick under pressure. Unfortunately, it was offline and it's a behind. And now the Dogs will move back ahead by 4.
Under siege, the Williamstown defence this quarter. Inside 50 count, 14-9 in favour of the Dogs. It feels a little bit more lopsided than that, but having to do a lot of defending at the moment, the Seagulls. They bring it out of defence, one-on-one. Strong hands, Tweddle O'Donnell. And that'll just relieve the pressure momentarily. This is where it's all broken down, but that's a well-weighted ball for Tyrrell. Not a great kick. Ugle is there. Brett as well. Kicked an unusual goal earlier this quarter. Taken over the line is Asiak. So Mailer now up to 9 disposals, a leading ball winner on the ground. Skinner's got 8 and Carruthers 7. Williamson 8, Mead 7 and Strayford 6 for the Gulls. They trail it by 4 points. About 6.5 to go in quarter number 2. Ball evades Julian initially. Has a couple of Dogs to contend with. Carbone, one of those. But they're able to work it out, Williamstown. Tyrrell. Brett got a bad bounce. Ugle with her for company. Ends up with the footy now, does Ugle. And Asiak looking to effect a switch, and it's a good ball for Neckrop.
Neckrop gets it going quickly. This could work out well here for the Dogs if they can move it, and they'll get a 50-metre penalty here. That's going to be handy for territory.
Yeah, didn't see what that was for.
So just ticked in to the 14-minute mark here, 6 minutes left in the quarter. Now they get an entry off a move from the half-back. Here's Whiting, got it, cleared it. Whiting doing a great job there in the back line after that change. Found Tyrrell in the middle of the ground. Tyrrell, limited options, just has to roll the dice here. Puts it in to the advantage of her teammate. Ugle overran the footy. Bursting through there was Strayford. And again, we'll get a contest here just across half forward. Like that from Williamstown. Whiting great in the back line to be able to get the clearance, and now all of a sudden they're in an attacking position.
Yep, she's one of the best players in the comp. Has been quiet so far today, been starved of service inside forward 50, but she has played plenty of defence over the years, so it's a natural role for her and one she knows how to do very well, and a good idea just to get her involved in the game because, as I said, she is one of their prime movers. Bain taps it down. Ball spills free. Chance here. Strayford gets another go. Strayford into the goal square. Good defending from the Dogs. Desperate stuff. A cruel bounce in there as well. And they force the stoppage on the last line of defence.
With some of the moves that Williamstown have made, taking Whiting out, they've gone small ball inside 50. I think this stoppage is really going to suit them.
It's worked for them so far. Unable to get Boots a ball. There was Eves. And the Dogs will get a free kick. Bain just a little bit too much body pressure after the kick. Or during the kick because it's coming back. Snow runs her full measure. Looking for Carbone out of side. He's got 3 goals and the boundary line to contend with, and not even she can beat those odds.
So interesting position here for Williamstown. They managed to get an inside 50 for no score, and Dogs trying to clear this one. Plenty of time left in the quarter for them to pile on a score. The ball fell in Hardingham's lap and then got it to Carbone. Then Hardingham over the top of it. Tried to get the hand pass away. Eves dived on it. Managed to get a hand pass out, but there's going to be a free kick. It's going to go in favour of the Western Bulldogs here. So they're across half back now. Hardingham went short. Found a target. This is good stop-start play in the position that they're in of the ground. Going down the line, Skinner. That one's turned over. Great intercept mark there by Emily Eves. Class operator. Got it on the right boot. Pinpointed a pass there to Tweedle O'Donnell.
She was going to get 50.
So
it's going back to Eves, and she's going to be potentially within range.
So we know Eves is a great user of the ball. Shaping up to pass. Hasn't quite settled into a goal-kicking routine yet. And does exactly that. Looks to pinpoint a target there in Strayford, but wasn't quite clean enough, and it's going to get locked in, and we're going to get a ball up inside 50 here for Williamstown.
Vocal crowd in that grandstand. Good to see. Bain with the hit out, but straight to Ugal, who breaks a couple of tackles and gets Boots a ball, but Mead, sturdy in defence. Moved off her mark. And the handball's turned over. Could be dangerous here. The Dogs on the counter, but they've got plenty of numbers back. Williamstown. And, well, it's going to be Williamstown ball either way. It is kept in. Tackle laid. Plenty of numbers around it. And we'll throw it up. Last 2 minutes of this opening half. 18 plays 14. Dogs lead it. Hardingham involved. So too Henry. And standing all on her own in the corridor is Neckrip. She can get it and go. She's got the foot speed. She closes to about 40 and doesn't quite get the bounce.
I didn't think Neckrip thought she had it as much room as she did in the end. Probably could have went a little closer. Whiting to take the kick in. So Whiting for Williamstown, as we've mentioned a few times, started forward and now it's thrown back. A booming kick on Whiting. That's great territory. At the back of the pack there was Randall, but Randall caught up. And there'll be a ball up. The move with Whiting, sending Whiting back in the role that she's playing, reminds me of Coach Liam Kavanagh, who plays for the Strathmore Footy Club in the EDFL. Absolute gun defender is he in his competition and a mastermind at tactics. Great man to talk to about footy.
Yep, he's been a good player at that club over a few years now. Thornycroft well, had the ball, then had to turn tackle up, and she did that effectively. Yeah, the Gulls had never made a finals appearance in the Rebel VFLW until Liam Kavanagh came along last year as coach. It turned into a fantastic team. They went 9-5 and lost to Carlton in week 1 of the finals by just 4 points. But so many gains made in the last year or so at this Williamstown Footy Club, but they have a little bit of work to do going into half-time. They trail it by 5 points, 2-7-19, the Western Bulldogs. Williamstown 2-2-14. Brett and Eves, the goal scorers.
A close one, a great one. Thanks for joining us. Hardingham in the ruck. Just went out wide with a hand pass. Now breaking through Carbone. Lowers the eyes with a kick. Good pass. Now the Dogs just on the edge of 50. Tab has been impressive in this game. Playing centre half forward. Stuck that one in for Milford. Milford got it on the half volley, then turning. Just spilled the ball. Milford still with it. Got the hand pass. Hardingham had to scoop it up. Then went out wide with a hand pass. Carbone got it on the boot. Went into the pocket. But swooping in there was Eves. Eves picking it up. Great tackle pressure there. Eves lost the footy. Then applied a tackle herself. But it will be awarded high. There's going to be a free kick here, just on the edge of 50 here for the Western Bulldogs. Going back to take the kick. What can they do here as that one comes in? Caratha's got it moving forward. Bain just trapped it with her feet. Picking it up was Thornycroft, who cleared it away. One-on-one contest out there, but it was fisted away, and it'll go out over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Good one-on-one too. Eves and Caratha's, two of the very best players out there this morning. Caratha's up to 9 disposals. Eves has 7 and a goal. The Dogs have started this term in attacking fashion. Hardingham wins it down defensive side. Trying to crash through was Mailer, but Eves comes away with it, and that's a searing ball to find Brett. Has nothing to kick to inside 50, though. So she's going to go wide, and that's a good ball for Strayford. Needs an option to present. Gets it in the form of Tweddle O'Donnell. She's confronted by a couple of Dogs. Strayford. Heavy contact once again. Still burrowing in on the ground. As per usual, she is a tough customer. But she can't break free on this occasion. Cameron Tyrrell was in there to help. And Ugle was in there as well for the Dogs. Thornycroft swings it around the body. Gathered. Oh, how about the turn from Brett? That's one of the goals of the season. Tegan Brett has her second. Unbelievable.
Brilliant play by Brett. Brett presenting up really well, playing that small forward role brilliantly. There was a great hit earlier by Eves to find Brett, and then Brett had the patience to just build that up. And that's what managed to keep the ball inside 50 for the Gulls. And it's great to see a small forward getting rewarded with a great goal like that.
Yep, there might have been a touch of luck to Brett's first goal in the second term, but no luck on that one. That was pure skill. And the Towners take the lead.
This is the seesawing contest that we thought we were going to get today. These two teams relatively even matched. Conditions have really suited this neutral contest at the moment. Having said that, there's just a slight breeze coming across the ground. Hardingham won the tap, but it went to Williamson. Williamson went forward with it just on the edge of 50 here. Tyrrell collected and then went. Great hit to find Brett. Brett couldn't quite take it with the chest mark, and then ball just bobbling around at the moment. Williamstown go with a centering kick. Hardingham cut it off and then went short to Carbone with the hand pass. That kick was smothered really well there from Thornycroft, who locked it in. And we'll get a ball up inside 50 here for the Gulls.
She's not your classic key position forward height. Only 157 centimetres, Tegan Brett. But her ability to win one-on-one contests and to kick goals as the deepest forward is something to behold. As the Dogs look to clear defensive 50, but Williamstown have the wall set up. Freeman pushing a long way up, trying to chisel a pass. Can't quite find the target. She'll get another go here, Freeman. Lays a tackle, but the Dogs have numbers to work it out. Beatenweg Webster sitting underneath it. Couldn't drag it in. Tries to tow it off the deck. Unable to do so. And now the Dogs with a little bit of run. Mailer. The Williamstown pressure is terrific. Edwards pushed off her kick. Strayford involved. And we get a stoppage. See, Shiny Whiting's gone from the long sleeves to the short sleeves, Todd.
Oh, classic move there, and still cold conditions, though.
Yeah, might have warmed up a little bit.
Comes out here, it will fall in the lap of Williamstown. The ball just actually still in congestion here. Hardingham tried to get it out, but it was locked in. Hardingham appealing for holding. The umpire will come in and we'll get a ball up. Tense moments here for Williamstown. They got that early one. Coming over the back there was Bain. Hardingham won the tap. Clearing kick. Will this manage to stay in? It just does. However, last touch rule applies. It'll be Freeman here to bring it on. Freeman wastes no time. Plays on. Sticks that one in, but it gets turned over. Unlucky. Now they stream away the Dogs. Getting the kick in there was Ramsey. Looking for Milford, but couldn't quite get it. In defence now. Beedwig Webster was caught holding the ball. So Pulcino will give it across to Ramsey, who will take the kick. Ramsey electing to go short. Has Skinner. Now Williamstown gives them opportunity to get numbers back. They go down the line there with that kick. Carbone couldn't quite get it. Clearing kick there from Plunkett, but they'll go out of bounds on the full, and the Dogs will bring it back in.
They will through Skinner. This will be her 10th disposal. Has one-on-ones ahead. Dropping back, though, is Bain. Oh, and she got crunched in the process by Milford. Heavy knee to the back, but she's all good. Not a great kick, though. Kicks to a 3-on-1 in favour of the Dogs. Carbone able to shovel out the handball. Whiting sits underneath it. Touch ball play on. She spirals it out of defensive 50. Ramsey is going to be tracking this, and she'll let it go out of bounds and take the free.
That's one moment I don't like the last touch rule. That was great work in defence with the barrel. It deserved better than that. It deserved a stoppage on the wing. However, that's the rules. That's how we play them. So the Dogs get to bring it in. They go down the line with that kick. Front position there, Julian, taking a very strong mark. Julian goes into the corridor, puts it into some space here. There's only Dogs, but it falls in the lap there of Smart. Smart takes off, takes a bounce. Smart had to loop it over the top to Tyrrell. Tyrrell had to wait for it, tapped it, then regained it, got the hand pass away. Now it falls there for Strayford, who goes out wide with the hand pass to Edwards, who couldn't quite control it. Dogs have time to get back. Brett out the pack with a snap, but it goes across the face of goal. I reckon if that was kicked in the first quarter, that was home. That Breeze has just picked up enough and took the ball on a journey to the behinds.
She is looking dangerous, Tegan Brad. Somewhat quiet start to the season by her standards. 1 goal, 2 from the first 4 games, but she's got 2-1 today and is looking threatening. They lead it by 2 points, Williamstown. Asiak has Ramsey on up the line, has to clear Julian and ends up weighting it beautifully. You can hear through the effects mic, wind is picking up at DSV Stadium. Double header here today. It's going to be the Gulls and the Dogs doing battle in the Smithies VFL later on. But in the Rebel VFLW, we have got a fascinating contest. It's lived up to the billing. Match of the round thus far. We get a boundary throw in. Throw in will hold up. Bain first hand to it. Hardingham shovels it out nicely, and now Henry puts it in the Cowan direction. Coming up to meet it is Tab. Dishes off the handball back to Henry, who got this all started. Dragged off her kick. Whiting clears the danger, and Williamstown away.
They are away indeed. Here's Williamson, who was wrapped up in that tackle, pinged, holding the ball. Brilliant tackle there from the Bulldogs. Now they'll go just to the edge of 50. Trying to get across here is Pulcino, but Getting there first was Freeman. Freeman with the relieving hand pass. Now they'll work it out. Julian caught up in a gang tackle. Now almost dropping the ball, Skinner, but then picked it up and then caught in a tackle herself by Strayford. Brilliant tackle pressure in this game by both teams, not giving an inch at all. This is how evenly matched they are. They are not giving away anything. And it's going to be a ball up here on the edge of 50 here for the Dogs. They find themselves trailing at the moment in this one by 2. Unopposed in the ruck there was Eves, who snatched it out, then got it on the boot. It was a wobbly kick in the end, but it's going to go in the work of the favour of them. The Stepnell tried to get it. Then swooping in there and turning around with that one was Simpson. Simpson soccers it off the ground. Will still go in pursuit of the footy. Tweedle O'Donnell will get there first. Got it on the boot and sent it down the line. This will be an interesting 2-on-2 contest here. Can the Gulls come out on top? Unfortunately, they don't. Great defensive pressure from the Dogs as they look to clear it. Got it here on the outer wing, and they'll look to generate play.
That they will, but Whiting cuts it off. Drives it long. She's gotten more involved in this game, Shani Whiting. High bounce. Dogs have gotten back in defence. They need to be careful. Ugle puts it on the boot, but straight to Eves, who can kick her second. The pressure creates a goal.
That was a fantastic work there from Whiting out on that wing to just anticipate play, cut it off, and then didn't worry about how accurate the kick was, but just sent it. She knew that territorial was super important and got it going in the forward line.
Oh, she's a little bit sore after that effort as well. She's making her way off the ground with a trainer alongside her, so we hope she's okay, but well, we mentioned earlier, she is one of the best players in the comp. A little bit quiet in the first quarter and a half, but she's really come into the game since being moved to the other end.
I'm really enjoying that about the Williamstown game, is the way that they've just got it going forward. And we think you said earlier, fortune favours the brave. And
yep.
That was exactly one of those opportunities. They find themselves now ahead by 8. Goals are really a premium in this game. That one was very important. 11 and a half minutes played here in the third term. Just crushing over the top there. Milford in the ruck. Hardingham having a rest at the moment. Great tackle there from Eves. And just continuing to apply tackle pressure. Apologies, it was Plunkett. We'll get a ball up here in the middle.
So it's an 8-point lead for the Towners. How do the Dogs respond? Wide ball. Difficult half volley for Neckrip to handle. The Williamstown cavalry arrives. Barker gets boot to ball. Rolling in the pocket. Barker followed up. Good gather, but then he's driven into the turf. The pressure from the Dogs now lifting. That was Hurst with the aggressive tackle. They've got it inside 50 though, the Gulls. Eves bumped off it on that occasion. High ball, but Mead, the only player home. She's been terrific today in that defensive 50. Sets it up. Can't quite take the mark, Randall. Still burrowing in on the ground, following up. And the Dogs' defence under all sorts of pressure at the minute.
Pressure indeed. Williamstown have really been handy in these situations. Falls in the lap of Eves. Eves just got the hand pass away. Good tackle pressure inside, and again, another display of that with Mead laying that tackle. Fell for Barker. Sorry, Strayford. Couldn't quite get it away. We'll get a ball up here inside 50. A repeat ball up. Ruck tap 1. Williamson. Oh, caught high, Williamson. She'll go back and have a shot here. Was absolutely slammed in that one. It was high and then copped another one high.
Yeah, had the leg caught underneath her as well, which can be dangerous, but luckily it wasn't.
Megan Williamson, an important moment here for her team. The breeze just coming across from right to left. It has died down slightly and played on. Got the hand pass to Stepnell, who unloads. Hangs it out there, but it doesn't have the distance. He'll go to the top of the square. Anyone's footy here. Mead tried to get the kick away. That was impeded. Just at the back of the pack here. The Dogs are happy to wrap that one up. I reckon they were led away with that one. We've just got a player down at the edge of the contest. Hard to identify who, but at the hands of the trainers, it is a Bulldog.
doesn't look very good. Grabbing the knee.
I can see a 6. Maybe McClay. Sorry, Henry. I'd only be guessing. I'll throw the guesses out the window. We'll make sure in a moment. Play will stop, so the clock will stop. 14 and a half minutes played in this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is not looking very good. I think they've just made the call for the stretch up. Still not quite sure who it is, but I guess in the meantime, Todd, until we can identify the player, we'll just go through some of the numbers. Emily Eves, a couple of goals for the goals. India Barker and Tegan Brett have the other 2. I think that might be a mistake. Tegan Brett has 2 herself. As we look at the Dogs, McLean and Ramsey are the goal kickers. Skinner, 13 disposals for the Dogs to lead all comers on the ground. Hardingham, 11 with 19 hit-outs. It's been a fascinating ruck battle between she and Bain. Carruthers has 10. The AFLW listed player, Mailer and Ugle, each with 9. And for the goals, Emily Eves, 12. Williamson, 10. Mead has been very sturdy across half-back with 9. Strathard, 8. Thornycroft, 7 with 5 tackles. And Tyrrell and Whiting also have 7. Shani Whiting has worked her way into the game, Todd, as the player has been moved onto the stretcher and is being carried off by the trainers. Still can't quite get a read on who exactly it is, but we can only wish that player all the best. She was clutching a knee, and well, we know that can be quite negative. We're just hoping for the best for her.
Still tough to ID the player there. We will, as soon as we find out, we'll let you know. So both teams were able to huddle up almost like a timeout. Play will get back underway just in the edge of the goal square here. The Dogs have been dominating the hit-outs. However, the clearance is in favour of Williamstown. And play will get back underway.
It will. Top of the square for Willie. Ugle bangs it clear, but it's cut off. Julian. Up and under. Ugle ends up with it again. She's dispossessed. Plunkett in the traffic. Unable to break free. So we'll do it again inside 50. Strong hands. Randall, no. Couldn't quite haul it in. And it's going to be a boundary throw in. Just next to the right hand behind post for Williamstown.
So the boundary umpire will come in here. So this one goes right into the corridor. Bain against Hardingham. A high throw, just gets held up in the wind slightly. An even tap, crushing through there was Randall, who got it on the boot. It won't work in her favour. Carbone with a clearing kick. Goes out wide here. Dogs look to be away. This will be an interesting possession. It's going to be a tough one. Looking for McClay, but getting across there first was Day. McClay ended up picking the footy up. Didn't quite get a clear possession away. Thornycroft came in on it, got to Julian, who cleared it away. Now they'll have it on the outer side here. Randall with the footy, sent it in. Found Bain, but Bain couldn't quite take the mark. Dogs looking to generate play. Comes into the middle. Stepnell will sit under it. Taking the chest mark. Laurie Stepnell got it on the boot. Real wobbler. Brett picked it up on the half volley. Brett turns. Then just like centimetre perfect pass to Tweedle O'Donnell. I like that work from Brett. Tweedle O'Donnell plays on, sells the candy, then goes a goal. But it's wide and it's out on the full. Opportunity lost. Great patience by Brett. I love the turn and pass. Yep. And Tweedle O'Donnell just couldn't quite finish.
She's causing mayhem inside forward 50. As the Dogs bring it back into play, Mead just missed her fist, but probably a benefit to her in the end because it's going to be a last touch free. Mead pops it over the top to Whiting, who's able to take the mark one-on-one. And you'd say this isn't beyond her without this breeze, but it is blowing against her. She takes on the player on the mark, gains territory, and the wind is her enemy on that occasion.
You could really see the intent looking to stick that out to the right-hand side of the post, but that wind is really coming across at the moment. No one held it up. Unfortunate. That would have been an unbelievable goal. That one's cleared away, but it's going to fall in the lap of Thornycroft. Thornycroft here on the edge of 50. Just needs to pick out a target. Puts it to the top of the square. Almost. Picked up nicely. Strayford, who had a shot at it. Off the ground attempt, and it's home. Simpson. Molly Simpson creating something there. And now Williamstown starting to kick away.
Yeah, they certainly are. 15 points. Becomes the biggest lead of the game for either side so far. Margin hadn't been beyond a kick until Eves' second goal before. And with only a minute or so to go in quarter number 3, it's danger time for the Dogs. So back in the middle. Bain wins it down. Carbone has been one of the Dogs' best today. She's taken down, but it dangerously. Thornycroft, the infringer. Kick almost smothered. Evades Biedenweg-Webster. Arriving on the scene for the Dogs was Salidas. Bain can't hang on. Gets help from Edwards. Whiting trying to crash through, but unable to. I've got an idea on that injured player, Todd. It looks like it's Imogen Milford for the Dogs. Former Carlton AFLW listed player. That's a real shame for her. Very disappointing. We hope it's not too serious, but it doesn't look great at the moment. Carruthers into the pocket. Julian missed it. And we're going to get a whistle, holding the ball. Chance for the Dogs to get back in this with the siren not far from sounding for three-quarter time. It's Talia Pulcino back into the side this week. 4 goals won from 3 games this season so far for her. And it will be an after the siren kick. A crucial one for the Dogs. And it skews off the side of the boot. So the Seagulls take a 15-point lead into three-quarter time. 5-4, 34 to 2
points the difference. Who will come out on top? We're about to find out. This one comes in, sits well for Ugle, who then pinged with the ball. Her arms were free, but Tyrrell held the footy against Ugle, who was unable to get rid of it. The umpire came in, said we'll throw it up. Hardingham won the tap, got it down to Skinner. Skinner went wide with the hand pass here. Neck rip, got it on the boot. Manages to stay in play here. Whiting didn't touch it smartly as well, because it will be awarded a free kick for Whiting on the last touch rule. If it had been touched by hands, it would have been a boundary throw-in. Whiting will get it and go down the line with it. Not a bad kick, just drops in the middle of a couple of players. Then wrapped up. Crook applying the tackle to Williamson, and we'll get a ball up.
Just inside the centre square. Bain wins it down, but only as far as Skinner. Up and under kick is well marked in the end by Mailer. She's been one of their best, the Dogs. Ball spills free. Pulcino trying to get a kick away. She goes in again. 3rd time now. But unable to break it away from the congestion.
Pulcino's had an interesting game. Normally plays deep inside the forward line, playing behind the footy today, but looks like she's been put up forward here for the last quarter.
She can be a goal kicker, of course. Had the shot after the siren in quarter number 3, which skewed off the side of her boot and out on the full. That could be an important moment in this game. 15 points. Not an easy deficit to pull back in the space of a quarter with the 20-minute flat terms. So we get a repeat stoppage. And they're a player down to the Dogs, which will make things that bit harder. Randall couldn't control the half volley. Chance for Leonard. She's pushed off it, and crudely, according to the umpire, it'll be her ball.
So across half back here. Interesting moment here for the Dogs. They stick that one out wide. Getting the ride and going over the back. Got the hand pass to Carbone, who was tackled aggressively. Umpire comes in and says, my ball. I think Carbone was pretty lucky there. We'll get a ball up on the outer side. Hardingham got front position, tapped it to Carbone, who got a touch on it, but it goes out over the line, and it's going to be awarded last touch here. And Carbone unlucky on that occasion. So ball will come in now. Thornycroft. Hardingham couldn't quite mark it. To the bottom of the pack. Now bursting through. Stepnell got it moving. Strayford got around one, then got the hand pass away. Play on awarded. Tyrrell couldn't quite get it, then dives back on the footy. Paddles it forward. Chaos ball here. Hardingham picked it up, then got the hand pass moving forward. It's just in play here. Pack forms. Just a hurried kick away. It's going to fall here for the Dogs. Mead got the kick. Bit of a chaos ball. Sits nicely. Now they put it out into space. 3 Dogs looming, but it's going to fall in the favour there of Edwards, who goes at goal. Oh. Gets the bounce, but doesn't quite. It was almost a super lucky one. This falls for Carbone, who applies the pressure. Hardingham again, super impressive. The tallest player on the ground scooping up to pick that one up. Dogs battling away here through Skinner. Turning, Tyrrell got the kick away. A mark here will be lethal for Williamstown. Coming back into it. Now Whiting gets it on the left boot. Whiting will go across the face of goal, and it'll go out of play, and it'll be a boundary throw-in.
Really pressing here, the goals. They sense that if they can get the first off this final term, that might just be the kill shot. Bain and Hardingham to do battle. The Dogs need to hang on. Here, 5 minutes already elapsed in this final term, so time becoming more of an enemy as well. Carbone clears. It's looking like it's going to bounce over the line, and it'll be Williamstown ball. Whiting or Mead. It'll be the latter, I think, to take the free. She was closer. So Erin Mead finds Thornycroft. She's had a good day. 11 disposals, 9 tackles. The former Blue. Well done, Henry. Now she's over the top of it. Stepnell on top of her. Need to score a goal in the next few minutes, the Dogs. Carbone taken down by Williamson and had it long enough. Julian running forward of the ball. Awkward bounce. Gives it off to Strayford. Now Eves through the traffic. Dishes it off. Tweddle O'Donnell one way then the other. Puts it to a spot, and Bain able to take it on the back pedal.
Really impressed with Bain there, just working inside 50. Bit of gut running to get to that position, and then took a really strong grab.
Yep, took advantage of the height mismatch with Ramsey opposing her. and able to take the mark. Hasn't kicked a goal yet as a goal. Spent 2023 with Carlton in the VFLW. This one would almost put it away. She keeps it low. And too low in the end because it's fallen short where the mark has been taken by Crook.
So Crook goes to Ugle, short in the pocket. Ugle then has got an option shorter, but unfortunately sticks that one out of bounds on the full. Brett got across there quickly. She had a smile like a Cheshire cat that she was going to get that kick. So now Brett, tough kick here with the wind in her face. It's coming across at her. It'll be a mighty kick to get it from here. She'll probably look to pass or put this to the top of the square. Instead, just finesses one in. Beautiful pass in the end by Brett to find Strayford, who will now line up and have a shot at goal. Strayford just has to start this one at the right-hand post. Sometimes you can get a little too one-side centric and end up spraying it. I think that's what happened earlier with Pulcino in a shot from a similar angle. Strayford comes in. Sticks it out, the wind takes it back, and it takes it all the way home. And that could be the sealer. Strayford with a big celebration too. And the girls get around her. You've got to love that.
Well, it was an ugly, wobbly-looking thing, Todd, but if it goes through the middle, it's beautiful. And it did on that occasion. Fantastic finish. And she's been great today, Eliza Strayford. She hasn't been necessarily prolific in terms of disposals, but her physicality around the contest is something that's really stood out, and just her ability to halve contests in which she's outnumbered. And also the pass from Tegan Brett. Again, hasn't had the most touches today, but she's got the 2 goals, and she's just so damaging when she gets the ball within 50 metres of goal.
Yeah, Brett, very impactful player.
So they've been 2 of their better players, well, not just today, but over the last season or 2 as well. Back in the middle, trying to thump it forward. There was Tab. Dogs forced to defend again. Strong tackle. Jamie Henry was in there. Hardingham and Bain. Give it to the ladder. Hardingham trying to extract, but can't quite. 21-point game for Williamstown, looking for their 2nd win of the season. Copping a falcon was Henry. Play goes on. Julian. Good tackle. Free kick going to Carruthers, who's been one of the Dogs' best.
Carruthers elects to play on, goes out wide here, just puts it in advantage. Pulcino looking to swoop in. Did in the end, got it, and then got the hand pass to her teammate there in Henry. Then Hardingham just unloads with a huge kick, but it goes across the face. It's going to find the boundary line. It's going to be advantage here. They'll get the throw in inside their 50. Great territory in the end.
They need 4 goals in 10 minutes.
And could start from this stoppage. Williamstown will elect to send an extra defender outside of the Fort 50, create a little bit of room. Actually, it's even numbers outside now as that just evens up. The Dogs will look to set a wall here, try and trap it in. That throw-in got held up in it. Then ducking to get out of the way was Plunkett. Ended up chasing the footy, but then it went out over the line. And we'll get a repeat boundary throw-in. That's the type of the conditions we have here, and that's what you come to expect when you come to DSV Stadium, that breeze across the bay.
Yep, got a feel for the boundary umpires.
He's a fair way in from the boundary line as well. And then that one sits nicely. It's up and down breeze at the moment. Falls for Pulcino, who tried to get it away, but it was dragged off the footy. Coming out here, went through the legs of Mailer, but Mailer will still battle away. Clearing kick. This will be an interesting one. It will go out. It'll be last touched. Bulldogs ball. Ugle appealing for it to take the kick, and Ugle will have it now. Ugle's got to be accurate here. Instead, just puts it right into the corridor. Pulcino fell for her, then she went pack-bound, but couldn't get rid of it. Plunkett caught with it in the end, but it'll be a ball up.
Skinner leads the way with 15 disposals. Here's Whiting. Clears the danger. Asiak got a cruel bounce, and Simpson will thump it over the line. Eves 14 for Williamstown. So too Thornycroft. Strayford and Williamson each with 12. Skinner 15. Hardingham and Ugle 13. Mailer 12 for the Dogs. Plenty of purchase on that throw in. Chance for Strayford. Pulled off it. Now she lays the tackle. Tab, no prior opportunity though. Bain with the thump, but straight down to Tab, who just puts it as high and as long as she can. Whiting in the area, gathers cleanly. Pulcino has a hold of her. 7.5 to go at DSV Stadium. Big doubleheader on AFL.com.au and the AFL Live official app. Make sure you're tuning into the State of Play podcast each week as well. Joe Pignataro and Gemma Bassiani doing great things. They spoke to Ben Crocker during the week. Back at Collingwood for season 2024 in a VFL capacity as Tweddle O'Donnell gathers. Speaking of former Collingwood players, taken by Barker. Inboard kick. Foot race is on. Biedenweg-Webster couldn't quite handle it. Brett, the pressure has got Ugle wrapped up.
And again, Brett just applying that X factor there, this time with the tackle. Ugle was hamstrung to get that footy out. Hardingham won the tap. It will come down here. Plunkett got a little toe poke, and then the ball bobbled up. It will be wrapped up again. And we'll get another ball up here. Hardingham wins the tap unopposed that time. Fell for Stepnell, though, who tried to get it going forward. Now they got some attack here, Williamstown. That kick goes deep, but Dogs have numbers back in defence. Brett, one out here, has to take on a couple. Crook got it going in favour of her teammate in Ugle. Ugle takes off, gets it on the boot. Goes down the line here. Having to press hard at it is Cowan. Cowan will repeat and go for a second effort. Day got there for Williamstown. Now they'll wrap it in. Cowan happy to see that one go underneath her opposing player. So a ball up will happen here on the broadcast wing.
Stepnell and McClay. Williamson hammers it forward. Leonard closest to it. Gets a kind bounce, but has her kick smothered. Support came from Asiak. Well done, Biedenweg-Webster, to get a hand in there. Now forced to try and tackle Carruthers. Working in a phone booth, has her kick smothered. Plunkett over the top of it. Carbone comes in, dispossessed, and pushed in the back.
That 1% smother there from Biedenweg-Webster was unbelievable. Great effort, put her body on the line.
Yep, certainly did. Former AFLW son. Back at Williamstown this season. Carbone, wobbly kick. Cowan came in to effect the spoil. Now ball in dispute. McClay. Force forward for the Dogs. Mead first to it. And not going anywhere as she's wrapped up.
So time ticking away. Only 5 minutes or just under 5 minutes left in this one. Stepnell won the tap. Carbone got it, then was taken off the footy. Plunkett picked it up and was wrapped up in a tackle. Carbone has been impressive around the contest. That inside player, super special. Carbone, obviously the captain of this team. Carbone, right on cue, left boot. Tries to keep it in. Does manage to be kept in the end by McClay. That kick now to the square. It fell nicely and a goal. Great finish in the end by Salatis. I like it a lot. That was enough for the Dogs to get another one. Can this generate the momentum that they need? It's an unlikely task with only a few minutes left, but be a great momentum to move into next week nonetheless.
Certainly will. Speaking of next week, they've got the Blues at Whitten Oval to the Western Bulldogs. Williamstown will take on Darebin at home. Already played Darebin this season. They beat them by 76 points back in round one. And this is looking like it'll be their first win since then. They've had a draw and 2 losses over that time frame. They've had to fight hard for this one. They broke it open in the third term with 3 goals to none. And in fact, that was the Western Bulldogs' first goal of the second half. So we toss it up. McLeay palms it down, but straight to Julian. Puts it on the boot. Overrunning it with Snow. Randall turns one opponent. Gets around a second. She loads up from 45. It's not going to have the journey. Brett gets a kind bounce. Able to dish off the handball. Simpson kicks her second. And Tegan Brett again causing mayhem.
Yeah, Brett did just enough to keep it in play. Simpson, the beneficiary of Brett's hard work, was able to finish. And surely that is enough now for Williamstown. Beautiful play by them. They've just been unbelievable today.
Margin back to 21 points. The Dogs work so hard to put one on the board, and then Williamstown comes straight back. And with just a couple of minutes left, the Towners can enjoy this victory.
Sun's starting to poke through here. That wind still sticking around. Will make for interesting conditions later as we have that blockbuster against Williamstown, and Footscray. Williamson out the middle, been prolific all day, just sticks that one in, but getting back there and taking a nice mark in defence was Hurst. But no, it was awarded play on.
Yeah, it might have been touched on the way through.
I thought Williamson had a clear run at it. There's an interesting one. Throw up. Hurst trying to get to it. Was parried under it. Simpson picked it up and then was wrapped up in a tackle. Another stoppage here inside 50.
So can they pile on one more, Williamstown? Got a chance to do so from this stoppage. McLeay. Chance for Eves, breaking through the tackle, looking for number 3. Leonard called to play on. Perhaps a little bit unlucky, but we'll get a stoppage. No harm, no foul, as Eves looks to be just stretching out a cramp. They certainly couldn't afford to lose her for any prolonged period of time, but she looks okay. Carbone taken down by Thornycroft. She's now laid 10 tackles today. Thornycroft. Chloe Bain is into double figures in that stat as well. The intent has been there for 4 quarters from Williamstown. Eves might have been pushing the back, but umpire says we'll throw it in instead. .30 seconds to go. Williamstown are going to record their second win of the season and move to 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. The Dogs will fall to 2-3 on the season. Quick kick taken by Hurst, who just bangs it out of there. Randall loops it over the top. Whiting couldn't gather. And Williamstown gets its first win since round 1, a 21-point victory over the Western Bulldogs. They take it 7-4-46 to 3-7-25. Emily Eves, Tegan Brett, and Molly Simpson, each with 2 goals. Singles to